Hello, YouTube! We're going to be going through the Death of a Profiteer music video that just dropped like last week, and I'm going to go through and just break it down. How we got the shots, how we did everything. Every single one of these shots has a crazy story with it, so we're just going to fucking hop right in, man. Here we go. Death of a Profiteer music video. Pause. Let me just say this right at the start of the music video. I need you to keep in mind that I am in Renaissance gear outside in the dead of winter. Every single shot of this music video that you see where I'm outside, I need you to understand that it is 10 below freezing. Now, I'm not a complete fucking dumbass, okay? I layered up as much as I could. Underneath my shirt, I have on 2 other shirts. Underneath my pants, I'm wearing, I'm not kidding, 4 layers of compression underwear, and I'm wearing 3 layers of socks. But that's it, man. That's it. That's all I could do to try and stay warm, because the whole premise of the video was Renaissance man appears in New York City. For this particular shot where I like pop in, let's run it back. In order to like get this shot, you need to get a clean slate of your background for you to then pop into. If you've never been to New York, we're in Times Square. In order to get a clean slate, nobody can be in the shot. How the fuck are we supposed to do that? Well, lucky for us, on the day that we were filming, a blizzard was rolling in. So nobody was outside, except, of course, me in my Renaissance gear in a blizzard. So we were able to get this cool shot. And honestly, with how much I was moving around, I was able to stay pretty warm. The only things that were getting cold were my extremities, my hands and my ears. So we had hand warmers on deck, and I had them in my pockets. So after every single shot, my hands were in my pockets, or I would put the hand warmers on my ears like this and warm up in between shots. And we filmed this whole music video, I would say 95% of it, we filmed from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m., 2 nights before the show in New York City. We had to fly in early to avoid the blizzard, and then the blizzard ended up being a lot less of a blizzard than we thought it was going to be, than everyone thought it was going to be. And so we were able to go out and film on that day. But don't get it twisted. Look at the ground. That's snow. Imagine if something happened to you before the show, though. I mean, I was certainly worried about getting sick. We could only film for like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour at a time. And then we had to go sit in the car and warm up for an hour. I didn't want to like halfway warm up, go back out and be freezing again. I had to get all the way warmed up before I was to the point where I was hot before I was ready to go back out. But anyways, that's enough about how cold it is. That's enough about how cold it was. Just know every single shot while I'm outside, I'm freezing my fucking ass off. And another thing, I hate the fucking cold. I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh, winter is the best season. Summer's the best season. I keep a humidifier on and a heater on at the same time. I wish I lived in a rainforest. In another life, I was a fucking gecko, okay? I'm not built for this, but I did it for you. I did it for the love of the game. And I did it for this music video. It's a really good song. All right, moving on. This is a cool shot. Referencing Captain America Marvel. You know, the spinning around shot. That's what we're referencing there. Boss man said he ain't got enough to go around, but he got bread he don't want you to know about. The guy who put the hat on me is my manager. Shout out Greg. Shout out Greg. Boss man said he ain't got enough to go around, but he got bread. This guy, that's my manager. That's my squire. If you've seen me live, that's my squire. Yeah, so the whole premise of this music video was a Renaissance guy gets teleported in from another world and immediately just becomes a New Yorker. He gets bumped into by a random guy in a puffer jacket who puts a New York hat on him. And then the very next thing I do is I do the classic. I'm in Times Square. I do the classic New York stuff. I go get a fucking corn dog at a street vendor. I go to the subway, you know, all that stuff. And then the second half of the music video is where we get to the Mario Brothers stuff. So anyways, let's let it ride. So the beginning is pretty simple. It's just we did a bunch of takes in Times Square. And yeah, I don't really get embarrassed about this kind of stuff either. Like Theo, the videographer, who was great by the way, he didn't. It was our first time meeting. He didn't really know if I was really gonna send it. But after like the first couple takes, he's like, "Oh, you're sending it, man." I love it. And yeah, it worked out well. How could it be stopped? Well, fuck it, that's how. Shout out this guy. There was a little bit of a language barrier. There was a moment where he thought we weren't gonna pay, but he let us film him. Looking up at that spot, then drop. Now he looking up at us now. I'm sure he'd agree. Yeah, right here, right here, he's yelling at us like, "Excuse me, you have to pay." We already told him we were going to. We thought he understood, but oh, and look right here. Oh, I'm covering it up. My stupid face. That's Hannah. That's Hannah there in the corner. Was the dog good? Yeah, the dog was actually good. This was like four hours into filming when we got this, so I was fucking hungry. But that is okay sometimes, as long as the laws can create a game for someone. This particular shot was actually recorded 2 days later because we just needed a pickup. There are things called pickups where if you don't get everything you need, you go film pickups. And so this was after the show. After the show, I came back out to record some pickups. We only had a couple to do, though, thankfully. Originally, our original plan was to record everything day of show. So we were going to record before the show, do the show, record after the show. And I'm so fucking glad that didn't happen. Things with me always end up working out in like a really annoying way. So we had to fly in 2 days earlier than we planned to because of this blizzard. Then the blizzard didn't really come. And so then we were able to film for the whole day that the blizzard was supposed to be there. And it just all worked out really well. The Wind of the Cape is so good. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's so good. How was being in the same location as Luigi? We'll get to that. Let's keep it pushing. Who needs that, right? So we can agree. Going on the subway. So we can agree. Okay. Sometimes a death is a need. For you it was money. For us it was just to be free. Committing a crime. I paid. Well, I did pay. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do that, by the way. Ask forgiveness, not permission. I just knew. I grew up on hip-hop. I know hopping the turnstile is like a cultural thing in New York City. And I was like, if the premise of this video is to become a New Yorker, I have to hop the turnstile. I didn't articulate this idea to anybody because people get antsy about safety and stuff and getting in trouble. What we did was somebody scanned and then walked off. So they paid the toll and then I just hopped. Money for us, it was just to be free. And it's a great shot. It's a great shot. I wish I was brave enough to just do it, but you know me. We have a whole night of filming. I can't get in trouble with the law. Funny. This was cool. Fun when the tables get turned. Ain't that funny? The subway is so fucking cool. The fucking only comprehensible public transit system in the United States. This little shot in the subway. The one thing I didn't want to do was like be a subway performer. So we're playing it out the speaker relatively quiet. I'm not actually performing. I'm just mouthing the words to not really annoy people. You won't be able to see it in this shot. Actually, you might. This person right here. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with them, but they had a sock in their hand. They were all bundled up. They had a sock in their hand, and they were just spitting into it. Not almost like involuntarily, just like a waterfall of spit was going into this sock. And the videographer is right here. He's across from me, but he's right next to her. And I didn't notice this till after we left, but apparently some poor lady here was just absolutely geeking the fuck out. And that's New York, man. and New York with the spit sock. And so we got off of there pretty quick. Okay, so now we enter into the concert segment of the show. Both the walking in scene and the walking out scene were filmed after the show ended. But here, so in the timeline of the music video, right, I teleport into New York. I go get a corn dog. I go to the subway. I'm like taking the subway to the show, and I stumble in to the Mercury Lounge. Oh, you can see our names are out here. I didn't see that before. Nice. Dom, shout out Dom, opener for New York, by the way. And Nathan Apollo. So we filmed this after the actual show happened, but I walk in. Now, this shot, I would second only to the CCTV footage. This is the coolest shot in the whole fucking music video. This sort of walking through the crowd is we didn't know this was gonna happen. Okay, this is what I mean by like things just work out. In every single venue that I've ever performed in, there's something called a green room, backstage, right? When you're backstage, you know, you have it's something only for the artist, and there's a secret path that you take from backstage to get to the stage. And usually at these small venues, it's literally like just a door. So like you're backstage and then bink, now you're on stage. That's how every single venue ever in the history of ever is. But not this one. This green room at this venue was so fucking bunko, I couldn't believe it, dude. It was, in order to get on the stage, there was no path to the stage from the green room. The green room, the door to the green room was at the back of the crowd, down the stairs, through like the maintenance and the pipes and shit, and underneath the stage. So the only way to the stage is walking from the back of the crowd to the front. That's fucking insane. That's crazy. And so normally what they do is they have like security there to guide you up. But the minute that we got there and realized that's how it was, our original idea for this shot was I was just going to stumble outside stage, and we were going to do like a whole little bit where I'm like, hello. And we were going to have the crowd be like really awkward and quiet, and then cut to us partying like crazy. But instead of that, once we got to the venue, we started like brainstorming, and I was like, Greg, here's what we're going to do. You're going to split the crowd. You're going to have them put their lights up. We're going to do like a walk through the crowd situation, and we're going to get this sick shot. And that's exactly what we did, and it looks so fucking sick. And it wouldn't have happened. We had no idea this was going to turn out this way, you know? And it ended up being the coolest shot of the music video. I like shit like that, man. I like shit like that. And so, yeah. And everyone's, it's just so good. People are like smiling and excited to see me. The only thing that we almost forgot was the hat for consistency. Have to wear the hat. And you'll notice that in some of the concert clips, I lose the hat. And so when I leave, I put the hat back on. So let's watch. What a real good system. If the biz requires a victim, guess what? Insane footage. No hat. By the way, hey, I'm going on another tour. You too could maybe be a part of a music video, or at the very least some content, right? The Itty Bitty Tour Part 2 tickets are available now. Head to nathanapollo.com, get your tickets. We're playing around with VIP, so get some VIP tickets. There's not very many. I don't typically like charging more just to meet me. That feels gross. So when you pay for VIP, you're going to like get stuff. You're going to get like merchandise and all that. It's not just paying to meet me. That feels gross. I'm going to try to make it worth your while, and I'll see how I feel about it. afterwards. But yeah, this footage was crazy.
The boss don't know what it's like to be broken. What he don't know just killed him. If you ain't one smoke, when our backs to the ropes and he
I love that shot. That swaying back and forth shot.
just killed him. If you ain't one smoke, when our backs to the ropes and he should have thought
There's a reason I used it for the Itty Bitty Tour Part 2 announcement. It's just such a good shot.
that when you build them. Maybe I'm being too crazy. Maybe I'm not crazy enough.
Shout out Theo.
Other folks be taking their
And then you
life
see-
just when they're about to speak up.
Put the hat back on. Consistency. Consistency.
Taking their life just when they're about to speak up. Something about that.
And now we get into the juicy stuff. Now we get into the juicy stuff, man. This is the meat and potatoes of the music video. We were in New York. This is the whole reason we filmed this in New York. We get some B-roll here.
That timing is weird.
We're at the Hilton.
Something about that.
They put up a fucking no weapons sign. They fucking put up a no weapons sign. Oh, that's hilarious.
Timing is strange. Don't make me pull up
Oh,
their
yeah.
names.
The shot. The shot of all shots. A lot of people were asking, they're like, yo, how'd you get this shot? How'd you get this shot? How'd you get access to the CCTV footage? And it's because I sucked off the hotel manager. I'm lying. No, what we actually did was Theo had a 360 camera. If you saw me on tour with Boy With You, I had one of those to film myself on stage with me. He had a 360 camera on a really long pole, like a 6 foot, 7 foot pole. And he just held it up as high as he could in front of the actual security camera. We had to go to the street. It's on the corner of 56th and 6th. We had to go to the street, find the angles, find everything, find the security camera, and then hold our camera in front of that camera to get this shot. And yeah, it just turned out super good. And then he just like steadied the footage in post, because it was a little wobbly. It does wobble a little in some of the dancing shots, but nobody even notices because they're too gobsmacked with what's happening right now.
So it's fine when you blow the ones with a whistle, but we hit back suddenly.
Shout out to this dude lighting up a fucking cigarette outside the hotel. He came out in the middle of the take, and I was like, oh, fuck. We're going to get kicked out. We're going to get fucking, whatever. Nah, he came out. He heard what I was, he never spoke a word to us, but he heard what I was saying, and he went, and then decided to post up right there. He could have walked a distance out of shot. He saw we were filming. He decided to post up right there and watch me dance and perform. So I think he's with it, dude. I think he's with it.
Blow the ones with a whistle, but we hit back suddenly. We got an issue. Never before.
And then I hit the whitest nana you've ever seen in your life.
With a pistol. Maybe they were shocked that we aim so high when we normally aim across the aisle.
Such good
And the minute
footage, man.
we think that we're on the same side, they lose their smile, huh?
And then we go to Central Park, right? So we follow the path. The Central Park stuff was the last stuff we filmed. And so this was like 2 a.m.
Ain't that funny?
The city
Not so
bike.
fun when the tables get turned. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny?
My hands were so fucking cold, dude. I understand why in New York, everybody's got those bikes with the fucking mittens on them. The huge fucking mittens on the handles. I get it, dude.
Not so fun when the tables get turned. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? I guess music and life really ain't so different.
And then we go to McDonald's, because, that's where it ended, right?
It looks like we both need a hit, man. If you big leagues don't stop acting like fools, you will end up on someone else's list, man.
I take a bite of a burger. Fun fact, I don't like hamburgers. I'm not a big beef guy. Once again, anything for the music video. The police sirens. I flash away. We fade to black.
Free Luigi! Free Luigi! Free Luigi! Free Luigi! That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out Theo, man. Dude, New York was the smallest because of the blizzard. There was actually a really bad turnout in New York. It was a sold out show, but only like 60% of people showed up because it was so cold in New York City. but it did not feel like it. This crowd was so loud. They were so energetic. They were so rowdy. I like a rowdy crowd within reason. Sometimes it gets a little out of control, but this was the perfect crowd for this show. So hey, that's the behind the scenes for the Death of a Profiteer music video. Go watch the music video if you haven't. I mean, you just watched it with me, but share it with everybody. Anonymously send it to Fox News. I'd love to show up on Fox News, man. That'd be a dream come true. It turned out really cool. Theo's the man. It was a long night. 8 hours of filming in the freezing cold, but I think it was worth it. I think that's a good YouTube video. Guys, look at me. I'm like a YouTuber. What the fuck? Look at me. Fucking look at me. Mr. fucking Internet Man.